Hey everyone, meet Tina. Hey, look, this is Tina. Isn't she beautiful? She is my very first dog and she is 10 weeks old. We brought her home on Saturday. If you follow me over on Instagram, little bit of a plug if you don't already, then you would have seen me post some pictures of her on Saturday as well. But she is adorable. But it got me thinking, as I've just mentioned, she is my very first dog and I've got her here in Italy. So what other things have I done here in Italy for the very first time in my life? This is what we're talking about in today's video. Should we say hello? Yes. Let's get into the video. So I'm just going to let Tina rest for a little bit while we do the rest of the filming. But essentially, the first thing that I've done for the very first time here in Italy is actually live abroad for the first time. So I grew up in London. I spent 34 years of my life living in and around London itself. And so this was my very first experience of living abroad and all of the little nuances and cultural differences that come into play when you do so. So it's been one of the biggest learning curves I think I've ever experienced. And I'm so incredibly grateful for everything that living here in Italy teaches me every single day. But essentially, that has been the first big thing, learning to adjust to life in another country, getting used to different customs and cultures and ways of life. That has been massive. So yes, number one, living here in Italy in the first place is the first thing that I've ever done here in Italy. The second, we'll dedicate this to you, Tina, has been to get a dog. So in the UK, I had rabbits, and at one point I think I had some goldfish as well, but I never had a dog. And it's not that I disliked dogs, but I think my experience in the police meant that I was very wary of dogs, particularly because I had seen dogs who hadn't necessarily been raised very well by their owners and had been encouraged to be aggressive. And so I was naturally a little bit more nervous around dogs than perhaps I ever needed to be. But living here in Italy, especially in South Italy, it seems that every other person has a dog, and I've gradually come into contact with more and more dogs since I've been living here, and it's made me be a bit more relaxed towards them. And I've also seen that actually they can just be great companions, and I think you've probably kind of got the sense that I work a lot, because I do. I'm constantly working, if not in my day job, on my side hustle and on this lovely YouTube channel. And so I kind of felt like I needed to have a little something extra to my life, a little bit of substance to it, something a bit more meaningful than just work all the time. And so it just kind of naturally happened that the decision came to take a puppy. And it's not easy, oh my goodness, these past few days have been a little challenging, but it definitely is really, really something very rewarding, and so I'm so glad that I have done it. But this is the very first time that I've ever had a dog here in Italy, so that's definitely something major for sure. The next thing that I've done for the very first time has been to start this YouTube channel. Like, I never had a YouTube channel back in the UK. I had different social platforms with my businesses, but I never had a YouTube channel. And so this is massive for me to have been doing this YouTube thing for 3 years, to have now over 5,000 subscribers, thank you so much, and to be at nearly 800,000 views on my channel is insane. I am so happy. But essentially it's this, isn't it? Like, I had maybe the possibility to start a YouTube channel 3 years earlier than I actually did, but I didn't feel like I was ready. And then in 2021 I was. And you know, I'm so grateful that I did. And this is what I have now. I have this lovely YouTube channel and I'm super, super happy with it. So another first for Italy. What else is first for me here? Eating sushi. It's hard to believe, but actually when I lived in the UK, I never ate sushi. I used to believe it would make me sick. Like the whole idea of like raw fish never really appealed to me. But here in South Italy, everybody loves sushi. And so it's something that I have become a lot more comfortable with eating, and I actually really enjoy it as well. So that's definitely another first for me here as well. What else is the first for me, Tina? What else? Can you think? I think for me as well, learning another language. So at school, I learned French, but then I quickly forgot it after I left school, which I think is most people's experience. But essentially, I am learning Italian, as you all know, and as you kind of have been following me on this journey, which seems to be taking a very long time, I know, but I really appreciate kind of the journey of language learning more so than ever before. So kind of learning a new language, understanding how your own language works and how it also works in other countries and cultures is also a really, really beautiful thing as well. So yeah, that's been pretty amazing, like to go on this journey of broadening my horizons a little bit and learning something other than English. So that's been a really, really beautiful thing as well. I have tried types of food that I've never eaten before. So I mentioned sushi before, but also I've eaten a lot more just general seafood here compared to what I used to eat in the UK. I was always a little bit fussy in the UK. I would never have eaten octopus. My granddad used to buy jellied eels, and I remember as a child, I was like, oh my goodness, that's disgusting. But essentially, I never used to eat anything other than traditional like cod and chips or salmon or tuna, something like this. I was very traditional. So it's really nice now that I'm actually a bit more adventurous with my seafood and also with food in general as well, because I definitely enjoy the street food here and I enjoy learning about the culture here through food, because essentially the Italian culture is based on food. It's like at its core, at its foundation. So yeah, I'm really, really grateful for this. This is a beautiful first to have experienced, is the ability to appreciate food at a much deeper level and in a much deeper sense as well. Okay, what else is first for me here in Italy? I think just really getting to know myself as a person. This is a bit deep and meaningful, but essentially, I think when you put yourself in another country, away from people that you love and know and, you know, surroundings that are familiar to you, you definitely get to know yourself on a much, 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 much deeper level than is ever possible when you live in your own country. And so I've really appreciated the amount of personal growth that since I moved here 6 years ago, and just like the routines that I've established, the books that I've read, and just the personal development that I've gone on as well has been magnificent. And so that is definitely a wonderful first to have experienced here in Italy. Another huge first for me was to write a book here in Italy. I mean, come on, that's amazing. I think I shared this story with you, but when I was a teenager, somebody who my mum knew read my palm and she said that I had the writer's fork, which meant that I would more than likely write a book or do something that kind of was centered on writing. And I wrote a book, and you know, even to this day, you can walk around the streets of Palermo and you can see my work as a permanent street art piece in the centre of Palermo. Like, that's insane. Like, insane when I think about it. When I actually talk about it here on this video, who would have thought that girl from London who moved to Italy would have these amazing experiences? And so I think, you know, the purpose of this is that sometimes you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Like, all of these experiences required me doing something different and learning some new skills and, you know, making myself feel a bit uncomfortable at times. But on the back of all of them, and on the back of what I'm about to experience with Tina, is going to be some of the most amazing growth and development and blessings that you could ever experience. And so I guess that's the point of this video. Short but sweet today, because I'm very focused on puppy training this week, but essentially it's this. Focus on pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, doing new things and trying things for the first time. Like 100%, it will change your life. I'll see you in the next episode. Tina, should we say goodbye? Ciao!